What is up, everybody? My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. The first of three presidential debates is currently live right now. You might even hear it in the background. And all I can say is it's tough. It's really tough to watch, I would say. I can see why so many people are stressed out. I can see why so many people are confused and have trouble with this situation. I don't think I've personally seen anything that has been this divided before in my life. And 1, 2, 3. This will be my fourth presidential election that I've been able to vote in. Another 3 or so that I've been around for, probably 2 that I can remember. So that's dating back to President Clinton finishing up and President George W. Bush coming in. And there were some definite, very interesting and difficult and challenging things that we faced in that season, in that time. And I can remember some of the challenges. And I can remember some of the challenges associated with that. And I'm just updating the description here for our video today, so that we have all the details. And I will get to what we're talking about today here shortly. But I just don't feel like I've ever seen such a division in the country. And it's tough. It really is tough. But this channel isn't about politics. It isn't about who to vote for, left, right, up or down. Really, at the end of the day, this channel is about assisting you in the process of being successful and having the lifestyle you desire to have. And that lifestyle directly impacts and pushes or directs your life. We are the sum total of all of our decisions, all of our actions, all of our behaviors. So our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, we're the sum total of those things. And we might have a certain thought that elicits an emotion that causes us to do something, and we might see a benefit immediately. Someone may say something to us, and we'll think, "Oh, that was really rude." But the way they say it may make us feel like, "I kind of hurt my feelings." We may respond in a way that hits that person back, and now our immediate result is a verbal argument, right? Another very simple analogy. Let's take it a little bit further in the context of what we're talking about. Let's say you are dealing with some grief, which is what I've recently learned, unresolved or what was the word that the gentleman used? He used the word metabolism. He used digest either. It was word that he used. It was either digested or metabolized, processed, unprocessed. We'll go with unprocessed for now. Grief is unprocessed emotions and feelings. It's not taking the time to feel. My wife always messes with me. Philip, like the name Philip. Feel as in like I just felt that, touch me, and then feel like fill in a form. She says all three sound the same, and now for whatever reason that thought came in my head. So I'm gonna collectively bring myself back to point here. Let's say you're dealing with some grief, and it is something that you've been dealing with for a long time, and it hasn't been addressed. And it can get to be a point where it becomes so normal not dealing with it that it can impact everything around you. Your response to life, how you feel about certain things. And it usually will stem back to a relationship, sometimes an event as well. And if that's not addressed, it leaves us in a position where we are we're reacting to life versus responding to life.
And a lot of times what I'm finding is when I'm talking with people, there's this one lady, for example, that I spoke to, maybe three, yeah, context clues do matter. Yes, thank you, baby. um, uh, there was one particular lady that I was speaking to, and uh, it was for our transformation program. And I asked her, how serious are you about changing the quality of your health? And she went on a very long rant. It had to be at least 5 minutes, and I should have stopped her because it would have saved my time. But one thing is that we're really dedicated to folks, so I wanted to give her a chance and really find out if she was serious. And she went on this long rant about forest fires and politics, and she's watched so much. I think it was Fox News or whatever it was, and she should be the next, what did she say, the next correspondence or something along the lines. And I said whatever her name was, let's just say Judy. I said, Judy, how serious are you about the quality of or how serious are you about changing the quality of your health? And it stopped her for a second, and she thought about it. She's like, well, I'm very serious, and she started talking about a few different things she was working on. But I found myself listening to that rant narrative again. Now, that can be any situation for any one person. Again, I'm not concerned about politics. I'm not concerned about views. I'm not concerned about what's going on right now, especially with what's being debated in this current presidential debate right now. Yes, we're covering some very heavy duty topics that I think should be held with the utmost care. I think we are considering things that are very, very big, very big situations or deals or I'll just leave it at that. Our environment definitely needs to be addressed. I'm not saying like the forest. I'm saying our environment in the country, just as a whole, as far as how we relate to each other, needs to be addressed. And effectively, what I find is that when you haven't addressed the grief, when you haven't addressed some of those events in the past that have really, really caused a significant downturn in your life, some serious, serious, deep rooted emotions, self hatred, self deprecation, lack of self esteem, no more self confidence. Do you realize everything I'm talking about is related to self? When you have those things taking place and you're not addressing those, you're not going to be able to be successful in your health. Physiologically, I don't know how many people know this. Whatever you're dealing with up here starts to manifest itself in the body. And that's been proven in so many studies, in cases and scenarios. And in fact, I personally don't need any studies because I've asked a lot of people this question. Do you notice that you find yourself suffering for whatever it is that hasn't been addressed? Yes. My father had some things that he never addressed in his life. If they came up, you could see him going to a position of crying very quickly or being very angry. We dealt with his anger early in childhood, as early as 6 for me. Anger and rage. If I shared some of the things with you that happened, you would probably be absolutely just dumbfounded, awestruck, fill in the blank. It was not a fun childhood at all. And unfortunately, that came at the price of him not addressing things. And I'm not saying my dad's a bad man or a bad person or anything. I'm just saying, as an example, if we aren't addressing our stuff, it's going to eke out of us, and it's going to impact the results we want to see take place. And so, when I said in our title today, "Be the change you desire to be," and I also happen to have my hands on my head. There's a little bit of imagery that I wanted. Now, it looks like I'm probably in distress, right? Which I think most people would pick that up. But I have both of my hands on my head. And the reason why I got my hands on my head is because that's where it starts. The change that I desire to be is going to start up here. The change that you desire to be is going to be up here. The government's not going to save you. Your parents aren't going to save you. Your friends aren't going to save you. They might love on you. They might be great support for you in whatever it is you're trying to achieve. But if we look to any external source other than one particular source for our progression, for us to see the change that we desire to see, we're not going to see it happen. Nobody has the power to provide or bring about the change that we desire to see. Now, we at Project Fresh, okay, which is very specifically speaking, we at Project Fresh believe that the change that we desire to see can be found in one person, and that's Jesus Christ. Okay, and that's based on our beliefs, our foundation, part of our business model as well. It is integrated and woven into our business. We believe that Jesus is that change agent that can bring about the life that we desire. We know the desires that we have because we believe that Christ put those desires, God put those desires in our heart to begin with. We're all uniquely and wonderfully made, each designed very intricately and separate from everybody else. And with that design comes a vocation or a purpose, or you could use other words to describe that. We all are purposed and destined here on this planet for something, but that is for us to find out. So I just want to get back to the main point. If you rely on anybody else other than yourself to be successful in losing weight, in burning belly fat, in building strength, in preparing for that obstacle course run, that's very prevalent here in the Bay Area, and I know across the country and even the world. Spartan and Tough Mudder have expanded globally, and I'm so excited for those two companies and all the work and success that they've had. Those are fun races. Or perhaps you want to be in excellent health and shape for the wedding and for the rest of the time after the wedding, not just lose the weight and then gain it back. You don't want to yo-yo anymore, right? You don't want to continue to live with the challenges that you're currently living with. That's what we're finding from those who are calling in on our orientation calls. They are tired of living the life that they are living. Okay. They're just absolutely tired of it. They don't want to deal with it anymore. But what they don't realize is that they're the only ones getting in their way from making it happen. And I laugh because it's so hard to see. We can't see past our own stuff to realize we're the only ones that are going to be able to help us see the change we desire. Now, welcome to the human experience. I do the things that I don't want to do, and I don't do the things that I do want to do. Woe is me. That's that experience that a lot of us find ourselves in. I'm seeing a few more people jump in here, so please share your thoughts and comments in the live chat. Let us know where you're watching in from. And that is the experience. But through fellowship, or what we like to call accountability, through a plan, through setting goals, through understanding that proper rest and recovery is required, and that includes mental rest and recovery, soul and spiritual rest and recovery, okay? Obviously, physical rest and recovery, we all can write a PhD on that topic, I think, especially here in the Bay Area. If you know the work environment here in the San Francisco Bay Area, you know that 40 hours of working each week is actually a joke. I'm saying that very candidly and openly. But in certain circumstances, working 40 hours a week is actually looked down upon. It's not directly looked down upon, but indirectly, it's like, so you think you can work 40 hours and, that's going to be cool. Like if you're in a salaried position, especially, it may not be the case for an hourly position, but in a salary situation, which is predominantly even non-salaried positions, meaning hourly positions in tech America, 40 hours is just not going to cut it. So that high standard, whatever it may be in your life, if it's not addressed appropriately with the plan, with the program, with goals, with check-ins with all the different things that are required to bring about success in lifestyle, chances are, unless you're extremely motivated, your success is going to be very slim to none. And I'm talking 20% or less. And that's what I tell a lot of people as we end our orientation call. Those who end up not being qualified for the services we provide is that I just don't see that you have the drive and the desire to do this. You seemed like you did, but based on our conversation, you're not willing to do what it takes to get it done. Sometimes that's money, and I totally understand that. Sometimes it's seasonal. I totally get that too. A lot of people are having hardship with family, with work, with the fires, with I'm sure hurricanes have been very challenging. People losing family members due to this virus, which is very real. My great uncle passed away, contracted the virus, shut down key organs, and he passed due to other complications. But COVID was a part of that combination, and it just totally took over a couple compensated areas. Excuse me, not compensated. Some pre-existing conditions that just totally took him out. Uh, and So I'm one of those who has lost a family member due to the current virus. There's a lot of circumstances out there, but what's interesting about life, I've lived long enough, is that there's always circumstances in life. They may be very, very, very difficult. They may not be as difficult as they are now, but we live in a fallen world. It's not perfect. There's nobody perfect here. If you are perfect, why are you hanging out with the rest of us? Because we're going to mess your perfect up real quick, as one of my pastors used to say. We're going to have your perfect all kinds of messed up. And it's just the key in life. So what I'm pressing on today in our live stream is that if you truly seek to see substantial and also sustainable change in your life, it starts with you, and it's going to end with you. There are going to be people who are going to join you along the way, and we at Project Fresh would absolutely love to assist you in that process. But ultimately, the buck stops with you. And I say that with all love and care, respect, honor, understanding, encouragement, with patience, with kindness, with goodness, with self-control. I don't want to put my foot in your butt today, but I do want to encourage you and say the change that you're looking for is going to come with you. Is going to start and end with you. Excuse me. And so, what does that look like? Let's make a transition here. What we did is we said, all right, we've got programming like any other fitness, nutrition, business out there. We're an online gym. We're an online lifestyle coach business. And so we have products and services that we offer for a price, just like anything else, just like any other business here in the United States. And we see that a lot of people are not willing to cross that threshold of that financial investment. Yet they still tell me, unless they're lying to themselves, I don't care if you lie to me, because at the end of the day, it's not going to impact my life at all. But if they're lying to themselves, that they truly are not serious, meaning they're telling themselves they're serious, but they're really not. Those folks are going to continue to see the results they're going to continue to see. I hope they wake up. I hope situation doesn't knock at their door and force them to change. I hope inspiration comes and they join with us or somebody to get those results, because we know the implications of health, and we'll be getting into that in October. But what we decided to do here at Project Fresh is do this trial run through the end of the year. We're dedicating ourselves to being available every weekday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be here to answer your questions, to interact with you, to engage with you in this journey, in this process of achieving, of pursuing, of running down and understanding how to greatly change your lifestyle, which would directly, by your work, impact your life in the way you want it to go. Okay, we focus on health, wealth, we focus on attraction, we focus on finances. I said wealth, so finances and wealth. We talk about marketing and sales as well. We're always selling ourselves In some situation, you had to sell yourself for college, you had to sell yourself for a job, you had to maybe sell your point with your family when it was time to make a shift in your lifestyle. Maybe you had to sell your desires to get food for dinner tonight. We're always selling. We don't necessarily look at it that way, but the transaction that we commonly go through is very relationship oriented, whether it's with others or with ourselves, especially with ourselves. We are always in a position to either take on our frame and take on our prerogative or take on someone else's frame. So when I want to bring this back to what I was starting about at the beginning is that a lot of times with those broken relationships and those unresolved issues, we're still being sold on what that person told us growing up. You're stupid. You're ugly. You're not capable. You will never have success. You will, or comparison to someone else. You'll never be like your sibling. You'll never be like your dad or your mom. You'll never be like that key figure that you grew up dreaming you would be someday, a superhero, an athlete, a celebrity, a scientist, a engineer, a lawyer, a guy who was mowing the lawn, who smiled and stopped to wish you a great day and ask you how you were doing. You know, whoever it is that we are inspired by, and then we have someone come walking into our life telling us that that will never be us. You got two responses to that: shake off shake that heat off and keep pursuing your dream, keep pursuing what you know and feel you were made to be, or keep being sold that lie that you will never be. The choice is ultimately yours. And I think the freedom comes in making the choice. The work is going to be hard either way. Whether you're going uphill or downhill, your legs have to work. I don't know if you ever noticed that. If you stand still on a slope, did you know that your legs are still working, that eventually you're going to have to sit down? And if you sit down, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just stuck on the side of the hill. So ultimately, whichever direction you choose to go, whether it be up the hill or down the hill or stay where you are, you're going to be getting tired. Okay. And what we're looking to do here is to assist you in the process of making the best of that lifestyle progression possible. You may be in a heading down the hill season, and you may need assistance with that. You might be transitioning out of a job. You might be having anxieties about what life is going to look like, your structure and your schedule and your relationships, and the way life is going right now is about to change. You're about to go into a schedule that's maybe much more open, or perhaps you've made some pre commitments to what the new life is going to be outside of the job, or perhaps you're leveling up in the job and now you're having to give more to the job, which means relationships and your health and everything else is going to be impacted. Yes, your finances are going to go up leaps and bounds, but perhaps you're concerned that your family is going to take a hit for it. We've all heard that story about some successful somebody losing the wife and the kids, or the wife losing the husband and the kids, or whatever, because work was so much more important. Uh, Relationships count, and what's the use of gaining the whole world if you have no one to share it with, if you have no one to enjoy it with? What's the use of going through the life challenges we're all facing collectively right now if you have no one to divide the pain with? Say pain shared is halved, joy shared is doubled. Would you like to live that lifestyle today? Would you love to walk in joy that's connected with someone else and doubled? Would you like to experience the challenges of life and have it seem halved? Of course, we all will deal with it collectively. But these are the things that we're talking about here at Project Fresh: fitness and finances, recreation and relationships, education, becoming extremely educated in all the areas that relate to your goals, your dreams, your desires that you deserve. The spiritual and soul health and sanctity is a process. That is a process that requires being one with yourself and what you believe to be your truth, and also delivering on that for yourself, not for others. That's the biggest thing, is that we let ourselves down. Ultimately, we might think we're doing it for somebody else, but if you're not doing it for you, It could be selfishly for you. It could be for supporting someone else. I know you might have circumstances and situations that require that you do it for somebody else. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, oh, and overall health, fresh. I was just spelling out fresh. At the end of the day, you got to choose to do it for you or let it go. It's not the season for you to get fitness and nutrition and accountability in these other areas done. This season is for you to work and eat and watch Netflix at night and call it a day. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody judge you on that. Don't let anybody tell you that that's bad. If that's the season that you're in, then live it to the fullest. Find as much joy and peace in it as you can. And when the season changes and you're ready to make those changes, then shift into it and go for it. What we're here for is for those who are ready right now. If you're watching and you're ready to make a significant change in your lifestyle, and as we have in today's title, be the change that you desire to be, then I need you to drop in the chat your name and let us know that you're ready to go, or shoot us a message. We've got it on our Facebook page. And what I'll do here is just drop our Facebook link right in here. Okay. Shoot us a message over at our Facebook page and let us know what it is that you're currently working on. Let us know your biggest goal. Let us know the hurdle that has prevented you from seeing progress in that goal. And let us know how we may best assist you in seeing the results that you desire and deserve to see. And I'll say this too, we focus a lot on accountability. So if you already know the areas where you need to be held accountable, we'll show you exactly how to be successful in holding yourself accountable. Accountability is not one person to another. It's being accountable to self, knowing that you're going to have to share with somebody else that accountability that you said you were going to hold to that person or to the group. It's not, Ryan, you're going to hold me accountable. No, it's, Ryan, I'm going to be accountable to self for getting 3 workouts in a week, eating the 5 meals or 3 meals a day that's been recommended, and messaging you to let you know what my weight is for the week. I step on my scale, I take a photo of the number, and I send it to you in a chat. And I'm coming back to you, Ryan, saying, I've done X, Y, and Z, to which I'm going to say, awesome, great job, nice work. You're doing everything you need to, and all you need to do is continue to trust us in the process, or trust the process rather, and trust yourself that you are creating a new lifestyle for yourself and moving in the direction that you desire to go. Okay, it's as simple as that. We're here to assist you on it. And if the finances truly are a challenge, then check out the descriptions. We'll be here every night at 7. We've got our small raffle package available. It's $3 for every raffle. We've only got 10 spots available, and we're going to go ahead and run that raffle. And at the end of the week, when we have our raffle, we'll select our winner. All the rules and how to play are in the description. It's all available there for you. And all you have to do is join us in that process. We're going to do a 30-minute call with you, transformation coaching call. It'll be an orientation or jumpstart call that's going to help you address those things I just said, your goals, your hurdles, and how you're going to stay accountable moving forward. And we'll do a 30-day plan, and then we'll also do a 90-day plan. Now is a good time to get started on this 30-minute call, because we have the holidays coming up, and we all know the holidays are going to be absolutely challenging this year, because you most likely are going to have one of 2 scenarios other than the usual. Now, the usual is Halloween, tons of candies and baked goods, and sick kids running around all over the place. So you've got upset stomach, and or if you're an adult without kids, maybe a lot of alcohol. Let's just be real here, and I'll finish up this session today with just being real. We can predict, because we've had Halloween enough, right? We've had Thanksgiving enough. We've had Christmas enough to know what's coming. You're gonna have that sugar, alcohol, the sugar hangover, whether it's county alcohol or both. We're gonna have the turkey hangover and the favorite pie and the favorite trimmings hangover. And then, good Lord, between Christmas and New Year's and everything that's in between, by the time we hit December 1st, you might as well forget it. Now that's the norm. Now, if you're pro-Trump and Trump wins, you're going to be celebrating a pumpkin pie. My wife's favorite is pumpkin pie. You're going to be celebrating President Trump coming in for another 4 years. And if you're not against Trump, you're probably going to want to be drinking yourself to death, eating yourself to death, um, just miserable, right? Oh gosh, another 4 years of this. I can't imagine. Or vice versa with Vice President Biden. Maybe he becomes president. It's the same thing. Oh God, he's going to mess up everything. It's going to be terrible. I don't know how I'm going to live. Or maybe you're going to be elated. So let's say you're in the elated camp, whatever it may be. Libations, celebration, baked goods of all kinds. Here comes that 10, 15 pounds. Or you're in the camp of, I just absolutely cannot take this. Depression is on the way, or something along the lines. Consumption consumption to a whole new level. And that's usually what happens. And it's not about who's in office. It's not about who's going to win this election, who's going to run this country. It's about you deciding that you're going to be the master, commander, and leader of your life. And if the topic of Jesus has been something that you've been contemplating and trying to figure out, glad to have that conversation with you as well. Share my experience in being a Christ-led believer, individual, setting my foundation and belief in the Word of God and literally reading the book, not just holding it up or saying that I read it, like getting into it and thinking about what's said in it. And that's something for you. I'm glad to talk to you about that as well. Have that discussion. Whatever it may be, we can generally see that there's going to be one or two things happening for each and every one of us after this election. If you're international, praise God, you're not dealing with this craziness right now. You probably just got a normal lifestyle. If COVID's not an issue, hopefully everything is relatively level, plain, chill for you. So with that being said, if we can accurately be aware of what's coming, then we can proactively plan appropriately for those times. And yes, you can maintain your weight through the holidays. You can actually lose weight. I've done a 5-pound weight loss challenge through the holidays, and our group was successful in that. That's possible too. Maintain the momentum you've worked hard for in 2020 despite all the challenges, or create momentum through the rest of 2020 in these last 90 days, which is coming up on Thursday. Thursday. Or start brand new, start fresh. This is the first time you've done something like this, a coaching plan, a transformation plan. You've never had programming before. You've never budgeted. You've never set up your finances to support it, or your schedule, or your mindset, or your emotions, or your relationships. It takes all of that for you to be successful in this, and also for you to have the results that you desire and deserve. And that all starts with you being the change you desire to be. So check out the descriptions if you want to join us for the small package, our custom small package. To do that 30-minute consultation coaching call with me, let's do it. I'd love to get to meet you and find out what you're looking to achieve here in the next 90 days, 30 and 90 days. And I've exceeded my time here. I'm going to go ahead and go back and watch the rest of this debate. Hopefully we can hang in there for the rest of it today. But yeah, and just prepare to have the best rest of 2020 possible. I'm not done with 2020. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm not done with 2020. I see there being great potential in 2020. The reason why adversity comes for character development. Character development moves us forward in the direction we need to go to have that life design that we desire to have. Not default, not reactionary, but by design, by being pro-actionary, meaning we know exactly what we can anticipate. And if for whatever reason it doesn't come, we know that we are doing our best and we're giving it our best effort despite whatever life throws at us. This is Project Fresh. This is your coach, Ryan Sanders. And I'm just really thankful and grateful to be here in this position. I absolutely do not know where this is going to go. I'm much like you in trying to figure out if I should jump in or not. I've decided to do this completely and totally and fully because I know there's at least one person out there that I can connect with and that we can assist them in having that desire that they've been wanting to have for so long. So keep joining us, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I can't believe it's almost been 35 minutes since I started, and we started a few minutes late. tonight. And we're just absolutely looking forward to joining you every night for the rest of the week as we move into October. We're going to dispel a myth or two tomorrow for the 30th, and then we'll go right into October with both hands up, swinging, and getting ready for some spooky facts in October about the cost for you in your lifestyle, positive, negative, or just sitting exactly where you're at. All right, until next time, we'll see you soon. We'll also cover tomorrow how to get involved in our small raffle as well as all raffles. I think that's what I meant to do today. I'll show you what that looks like tomorrow, and we'll take it from there. All right, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves, and take a deep breath with this current debate. All right, we'll talk to you soon.